Welcome to Watch Lists. Today I'm going to go over my lazy NFL picks for Week 7 of the regular season. As always, let's start out with how I did last week. Okay, not great. So last week, based on the rankings, I was 9 wins, 6 losses, so that's 60%. And based on my instincts, this was the worst I've done so far. 53%. I only won 8 and lost 7. So I did a little summary over here of each week. So you can see I've pretty much got worse every week. So that sucks. 81% that first week, then 75, 63. Last week was an anomaly for everybody, but I think, it's getting harder to pick as the NFL season rolls on. All right, let's go to the rankings for this week. And we do have a new number 1 team, based on the fact that all the other teams in the top 5 seem to have lost. And so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the new number 1 team. They've got 14 of the first place votes. There are only 2 other teams that had first place votes or rankings. Green Bay was ranked first with the Sporting News. And Kansas City had 3 first place rankings: Sports Illustrated, The Ringer, and Walter Football. Interestingly enough, let's see, these teams still have a first or second place vote. So there's 6 teams pretty much that are the clear teams there. Let's see. Going to the bottom here, we've got the team that 0 victories. The New York Jets still are at 32nd. And the only other team that has a last place vote is Tennessee. And on that Walter Football, they actually put Tennessee last and the Jets at 31st. So that's the bottom half. Let's look at the quickly who's moved the most. So San Francisco, last week they were at 7th and they've dropped down to 14th. So they lost 7 spots. They also have the biggest range of votes because, of course, their home newspaper, the Sporting News, has them at a 3, and they go as low as a 19 right here next to it, Walter Football. So that's a span of 16. Another team that lost a lot was the Washington Commanders, dropped 6 spots to number 17. They don't have as big of a range, though. And then here's another team that dropped, Philadelphia. They lost 2 games in a row over the span of, 4 days? So they've lost 5 spots this week. Their highest is still a 3rd. Yahoo still has them at 3rd place. Some of these rankings come out on Monday before Monday night, which is kind of crazy. So Buffalo, I had to do some updates for NFL Spin Zone because they still had Buffalo in the top spot. And then they put out updated rankings afterwards for the NFC and AFC. So I kind of had to fudge their numbers a little bit, but otherwise they would have been sitting there with the first place vote as well. So pretty much that's it. Pittsburgh, just as always, they've got a kind of a big span every single week. They've got a top 3. Looks like right here CBS has them at 3rd, and they've got an 18th as well. Sharp Football Analysis has them at 18th. So they always have the biggest span. This time they happen to have a second largest span. But there you go. That's the new rankings. And let's jump into the picks for this week. Make it as quick of a video as I can this time since I'm so terrible. All right, so starting off, there's what, based on the rankings, who's going to win. I'm just going to go through these real quick. I think Pittsburgh can... Aaron Rodgers versus Joe Flacco matchup. I think Pittsburgh should win that one. Rams at Jacksonville. Rams are ranked higher, but I think Puka Nacua might be injured. I'm going to go with Jacksonville this time. They're at home. They're close enough in the rankings. New Orleans and the Bears. I think the Chicago Bears should win that one. Cleveland, Miami. Cleveland's at home, but they are starting that rookie quarterback again, Dylan Gabriel. I'm going to go with Miami. This is kind of like their last shot, man. If they don't win, not looking good. Raiders, Kansas City. I'm going to think Kansas City's figured it out, as we said last week. Let's go with them. Philadelphia versus Minnesota. I don't know who's starting at quarterback. I don't think it's been announced yet. Is J.J. McCarthy back, or are we still with Carson Wentz? Philadelphia's lost 2 in a row. I don't think they're going to lose the 3rd in a row. Let's say Philadelphia. Jets haven't won a game. Carolina's won some good games, including last week against Dallas. I'm going to go with Carolina. Because you can't root for not root for it. I can't pick the Jets yet, is what I meant. New England, Tennessee. New England. Tennessee just fired their coach. New England is kind of the hot pick right now. Everybody's liking them. Denver just won that game overseas. I think they're going to win again. I think the honeymoon era for New York Giants is going to take a step back for a minute. Let's see. Oh, this one's a hard one. A few weeks ago, I probably would have picked the Chargers. Indianapolis is ranked higher now, and I think they're proving that they're good. But they are at home, and Chargers figured out how to win last week again. I think I'm going to go with the upset here and pick the Chargers. I've picked Arizona too many times. Not this week. Green Bay. Oh, here's another one. Washington fell in the rankings this week. Although they just barely lost to Chicago, I think. So I don't know why they dropped so much. But Dallas, are you going to win a game ever? This is a good matchup. They're at home. I think I'm going to pick Dallas this time, actually. I couldn't do worse than last time, right? All right, Atlanta and San Francisco. San Francisco's at home. Atlanta's had a couple of big wins recently, but I'm going to pick San Francisco. Tampa Bay and Detroit. I really want to pick Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay's been close on all these games and winning them at the last second. I think Detroit. I'm going to go with Detroit this time. I want Tampa Bay, but I think Detroit needs probably going to win this one because they're at home. Houston and Seattle. I'm going to pick Seattle, and that's it. So it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different ones this time. Do I want to make any last second changes? Maybe. Well, good enough. I'll stick with that. All right, thanks for watching.